我们知道美国有很多的热心市民啊，总是喜欢帮助别人报警。今天的这个事情又是非常诧异啊！事情发生在美国的肯塔基州，有一位男士和自己的女朋友在自家院子里摆放了很多物品，并以低价把这些物品卖给路人。那么这些物品是哪里来的呢？男士的女朋友非常善于用优惠券，他利用优惠券在各个商店大量购买那些打折的库存商品，然后再拿回家摆在院子里进行销售。你还别说，买东西的人还挺多。但是就在今天，意外发生了，有一位热心的女士打电话报警，说男士和女朋友在出售很多品种的商品，估计这些商品应该是偷来的，不然怎么会有这么多的商品呢？警察接警后很快就来到了男士家。我们先来看看执法记录仪的画面。
So what's your name and badge number?
My name is Sergeant Hines with Warren County Sheriff's Office, 415.
Thank you. I'm now recording this interaction because this was a consensual conversation where you walked upon me and decided that because I won't give you my ID, that you're going to say that the result of couponing is now shoplifting. I've asked you to leave. I said I do not want to continue this consensual conversation. You refused. Said I don't get to dictate when you leave. And that's fine.
You didn't actually ask me.
Yes, I did. I asked to end this conversation. I am asking you to leave. I wanted to end this conversation. Okay, well, I've given you the information I have. Unless you can speak to the items out there in the grass, I don't know what else you can do to investigate. I've explained that my girlfriend coupons to you. I've explained that this is the result of that. I don't know what else that you want. She shops all over. No answer I give you is gonna make you think, oh, what I thought when I walked up is not the case, because you predetermined the notion of what you were going to come upon when you saw this yard sale.
Determine anything. That's why we investigate.
But you have no reasonable articulable suspicion that shoplifting occurred ever.
I've already provided that reasonable, articulable.
Which is what?
Multiples and.
So it's illegal to own multiples of items and then sell those items. So the people who are at the flea market who have multiples of items and are selling items should all be put under suspicion for committing shoplifting.
I just came here to have a simple conversation.
And I told you my name's Tony.
Your obstruction of that is...
There's no obstruction. Obstruction is a physical act. I'm not obstructing you. I do not have to help in your investigation. That is not my job. That is your job. You're required to do your investigation. I'm not required to say anything to you under the Fifth Amendment. You have a supervisor coming?
I've already advised you. I am the supervisor.
Okay, I wanted your supervisor. Isn't that your policy to try to contact your supervisor?
No.
Okay. Do you have a card?
I believe I have one.
Can I have one? Yeah, please. So that when I file a complaint with your department, I know exactly who I'm filing it on. This is harassment. I've asked you to leave. I would like for you to leave. You have no reason to be here. I've explained to you how we have come upon these items.
I was asked to be here, so I do have a reason to be here.
Okay, you can investigate somewhere else.
No,
There's nothing else for you to investigate here.
This is where it's occurring.
现在的情况是，警察根本没有证据证明这些物品是偷来的，而且男士也跟他解释过了，是女朋友用优惠券买来的。男士多次要求警察离开，因为警察已经打扰到了他们做生意。警察不来的时候，有很多路人来买东西，警察一来，顾客都没了。警察还不断要求男士出示 ID， 男士则反驳道：“我又没有犯罪，凭什么出示 ID 给你？而且你现在赖在我家的私人地盘，我要求你马上离开。”不过警察还是赖着不走。
Okay, I understand that, but I've asked you to leave. You have no right to be here. I don't want to give you a hard time, but you're coming up here on baseless accusations.
You started with giving me a hard time. That's where we started.
No, I didn't. I just told you I wasn't going to give you my ID because I don't have to. Is that not true? Are we a stop and ID state? And now you're impeding me from being able to sell the items because people aren't going to stop when there's a sheriff standing on the porch.
Why would they not stop?
Because it looks like there's something intimidating or scary going on here. There's a man with a gun on my porch, standing over top of me.
Because I go to stores and people don't leave the store.
No, but people aren't going to be deterred from a store. They're going to think that I'm some type of criminal when there's no criminal act going on here.
Well, I don't believe that.
You have no reasonable articulable suspicion. Having multiples of an item is not a crime. Selling multiples of an item is not a crime. You have nothing to suggest that any of this was stolen. Do you have me on video walking out of a store with all of these items without paying?
Potentially.
You don't. I can guarantee you 1,000% you don't.
Okay. What about your girlfriend?
I can guarantee 1,000% that she is not on camera stealing anything ever in her life. And the fact that you continue to sit here and act like this is ridiculous. You're trying to be quiet now that I have you on camera, but I want you to understand that I would like for you to leave. You have no reason to be here. I've asked you to end this consensual conversation and you refuse. On no basis. Name and badge number, sir?
Alex Bigford, 486.
Thank you. Do you have a card?
Yep.
Just watch.
I've asked you to leave several times. Now you're walking through my yard taking pictures of my items. You can do that from somewhere other than this property. This makes no sense. You walked up on this property. This was a consensual conversation. You're trying to say selling multiples of items is somehow shoplifting. It is not. My girlfriend coupons, I explained that to you. You're continuing to push this because of some ego trip that you have because I wouldn't give you my ID. So are you going to come back and apologize when you find out you're wrong? Are you? Will you come back and apologize if you find out with what you're doing right now is completely wrong? I understand that. I asked for his supervisor. I know. I want his supervisor because what he's doing is completely baseless. He has no right to just walk up and assume that all this is shoplifted.
I don't know anything about that.
Did somebody credible call you all and say, hey, I know for a fact all this stuff is shoplifted?
I don't know. I just got here.
Because suspicion that it's shoplifted doesn't give you a right to come up on me and demand my ID and say that there's possibly a crime here. I told him I wouldn't give him my ID because there's no crime committed and we're not a stop and ID state. And so he decides to push the issue further. Am I incorrect about that? Do I have to ID to you if I have not committed a crime? We are not a stop and ID state, are we?
Well, if there's reasonable suspicion. Yes.
No, if I'm detained and I give you a false name, it's a crime. If I am lawfully arrested, I have to give you my ID.
Yeah,
I do not have to give you my ID just because you ask for it. We're not a stop and ID state. It's not a requirement. I'm going to FOIA request that. I want an incident report number. Can I have your card and can I have your name and badge number?
I'm Officer Williams, badge is 171.
And your name, ma'am?
Officer Bryant.
And badge number?
155.
Okay, and do you have cards?
Yep.
Can I have one, please?
Sure.
I'd like to know who I'm complaining on whenever I go to the police department.
现场来了多名警察，就是因为一个没有依据的报警电话。男士告诉警察，你们没有证据就赶紧走吧，这些都是女朋友用优惠券买来的，而且现在不是第一次卖，已经卖过好几年了。以前的社区巡逻警察也会过来买东西，但是从来不会像你们这样说这些东西是偷来的。我不管你们是怎么想的，我们自己就是没有犯罪，你们在影响我们卖东西。警察说，那这样吧，你说这些东西不是偷来的，那你们买的时候总该有收据吧，你把收据给我们看一下。男士则回答，肯定是有收据的，但我不需要给你们看，现在是你们怀疑我们偷东西，是需要你们提供证据，而不是我自己证明自己没有犯罪。 后来男士的女朋友也来了，他说真希望知道是谁举报的，因为不想再卖东西给他了。女朋友说不光是卖东西啊，有些东西甚至是直接送给顾客了。比如说在开学的时候会把一些文具免费送给学生，还会把一些帽子、保暖内衣、毛毯送给无家可归者，甚至还会把一些即将过期的食物与邻居们一起分享。周围的邻居都知道这件事情。女朋友每天都在外面跑去争取一些优惠券。现在城市方面不愿意收留一些无家可归者，他们睡帐篷也是违法的，但是他们总得生活吧。女士说会尽力去帮助他们，但今天自己怎么却变成了罪犯呢？警察被说得哑口无言啊。
Okay. Do you have any questions for us?
No, besides, I would like to know that the lady's name that reported me, so she can be banned from my cell.
Yeah, unfortunately, we just don't release that type of stuff because we don't want that kind of drama or people angry with each other or anything like that. So,
Well, it's false reporting. That's a.
Coming with a report.
well, it's a suspicion. I think it's fair.
I mean, after 6 years of being here, I mean, police stop and shop here that patrol this neighborhood. The ice cream truck stops and shops here.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's like everybody stops to shop here. For 6 years, every summer I have
Thank
the
you.
sale. Nobody has ever said anything to me. It just makes me mad that somebody would call and report, and that you'd have to have this many people out here and scared. Like for the last hour, this yard would have been full of customers. Now all these customers have missed this yard because some lady wants
Well,
to.
To be fair, I was just trying to ask some simple questions, but I couldn't get a simple answer. So it just made it more complicated. It extended the time that we were here because we couldn't get a clear answer.
I told you where the stuff came from. You weren't happy with me telling you that it was from couponing, though. It's the same answer she gave you, except for now you saw the coupons in her window.
Right. Yeah, a little bit of evidence goes a long way.
I mean, you immediately walked on me. I can't go anywhere. I was detained from the moment you walked up.
Because I don't know who you are.
Right, so I can't give you any evidence. I can't show you anything. I can't do anything to help
You
further.
absolutely could have,
I couldn't.
but you refused to. And when you refuse to identify, the courts have held that is legal to.
No, it's not. No, it's not.
Okay, that's all we got. I appreciate you.
Is there an incident number?
No.
最后警察都灰溜溜的走了，因为他们根本就没有证据证明说人家的物品是从商店偷来的，而且他们警察自己也有过错。这个院子和门廊属于房主的私人领地，警察想要来调查犯罪也不是想进来就能进来，需要有合法的手续啊，那就是搜查令。这之前是有判例的，肯塔基州正好有类似的案件啊，是发生在2018年。有一个人叫摩根，警察闯入他家的庭院调查事情，结果被裁定违反了第4修正案的权利。也就是说，警察即使有合理的怀疑理由，也不能随便进，是需要搜查令的。这件事情就这样过去了，幸好男士也没有什么过多的损失啊，他也没有说要起诉警察，反而是那位报警的女士，你凭什么说人家的东西是偷来的呢？这种事情他都能报警，真不知道他是怎么想的啊。好了，本期的视频就到这里了，感谢观看。